Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons: The Second Age. How are you all doing?
Doing good.
Excellent.
Doing good.
So, as we are a player down this week, we will be having a bit more of a relaxed session. A bit more of a social session, rounding up some story plots and having some dialogue. But before we launch into that, who would like to go ahead and do me a favour and remind me of exactly what happened the last time we played this game?
So, we started having just been, having just spotted our auditor.
Correct.
Because we'd abandoned the subtlety and just asked around for her, and sure enough, she'd shown up in the streets and was like, "So you're looking for me, I heard." We had and basically, we were like, "So, where do we want to continue this in a more private setting?" At which point, she led us to a house which was opened via a special ring and was revealed to be a pocket dimension. Because it was much larger than the house that was actually opened.
Yeah.
Yeah. We step inside. We have. Grim and her have discussions, mostly, over what's to be going on, with the occasional angry intervention from Arya near the end, as she inevitably does not want to strike any kind of deal that might result in, stopping cooperation with the Dread Legion or anything that we might want. So it ends up in a fight. Which basically just gives us an excuse to test out all of our amazing new spells and spell slots and other abilities. So we come out on top. We only kill one of the drow assailants. The rest are just knocked unconscious.
Incapacitated,
thank you very much. And at which point we secure them, make sure to gag spellcasters, and of course we heal up our auditor by 1 point and say, "Yo, where the fuck is Jaldrum?" She points us to a part of this little pocket dimension which appears to be a barracks/prison. And sure enough, Jaldrum is sitting there in the holding cell. We get him out, we ask further questions of this woman. Kelariis has a go with the baton to ask more questions. And yeah, eventually we're just like, "So, we need to talk to the matron of Domator again." So, sure enough, we give her another visit. We say, "Here's the situation. Here's what's transpired. We've got all of them as prisoners." And she then talks with Jaldrum and arranges some kind of deal, which we don't know about because the only person who was there was Grim, and Grim does not speak Undercommon.
Yeah.
So they hammer out some kind of deal. There's a prisoner transfer, so House Domator holds on to the auditor and her aides. And we basically learn that Jaldrum inevitably is probably going to lose his scionship, but he's been granted protection by Matron Domator as a houseless. So it's basically just a situation now where we just need to figure out what to do in the aftermath.
Correct.
And of course there was awkward flirting a little bit. Right at the end.
Just a little.
Which ended in a handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe the last things we established was that you were all going to find somewhere slightly more upmarket to stay for a little while.
Yes.
Yeah. And we also bought some nice new clothes.
And so I'm gonna go back and say because at the time I skipped ahead a little bit. I'm actually going to dial it back a bit in that you have commissioned the clothes to be made, but it will still take a couple of days to have them done.
Yeah.
The same as with Kelariis' sword that she has commissioned. So it will be a couple of days until those are ready, and I think we will play it sort of day by day, as by ear, as we needed. So I can't remember. Did I give you Jaldrum's recommendation for a place to stay? I don't believe I did.
I don't believe you gave us specifics. No.
I think it was more of a hand wavy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you were just like, he gives you a recommendation, you go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is basically there is a Jaldrum's recommendation that that you take for accommodations is a place called the Peregrine Nest, which is a Rastrous establishment in the more upmarket sort of business area of Cindershale Landing, fairly close to the Domator Manor, like maybe a 25-35 minute walk from the Domator Manor. And yeah, so you pay for your evening's stay whilst you are there. Go ahead and do all of your shopping needs, and I think you guys already took a long rest, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I think we will begin with I'm assuming that like you sort of went home and rested after doing all of the shopping and things. By which point it's sort of the end of the day. So I think we will begin the morning of the second day, having rescued Jaldrum.
Day 2, post Jaldrum rescue.
Yes. So it has been you rescued him the evening. Then you've had a day to do all of your shopping and arrangements and things, and then it's been a day and a couple of hours since you saved him. Cool. Just so people know where you are in timescales.
Wow.
Okay.
Does anyone have anything they want to do straight off the bat?
Mope.
Mope.
Is moping a free action?
Yes.
Is she visibly moping, or is she hiding the moping?
I mean, I assume Arya moping is just like her general silence. So does that much? So
True.
It's hugely different from normal. I don't know.
Whilst at breakfast, she says 2 words instead of 3.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Just like, oh, what's wrong? You only said 2 words today.
I imagine Arya just like gives her a look.
that wasn't genuine.
Just raises a hand and just slowly flips the bird.
Pretty much.
Oh, amazing. Now, I guess considering we're taking a few days off, I think one of the things, like now that I'm thinking about, one of the things Grim would probably want to do is stop by the what was he called again? Is an archivist?
Oh yes, the archivist. Yes.
Yes.
That guy.
Just in order to take some notes, because he knows what he's talking about, and so we can apply that to the castle later. Because we are going to need an archive.
Okay. Yeah, you can quite easily go back to House Ziltus and speak to Torin the archivist.
Yes.
He seems very excited to sort of like see you return as you sort of come down the stairs again, accompanied by Celia, the administrative secretary. And he's like, you've returned.
Yes. This time, however, I am not actually seeking anything specifically. You see, like I was, like after seeing your archive, I was I was wondering if you could point me in the right direction for obtaining some of the materials required, like the gloves and that kind of stuff, because I will be I'll have to set up an archive soon, and finding the more delicate materials and enchantments, that kind of stuff, that is it's gonna be hard. And I was hoping you could point me in the right direction.
He sort of like lights up and says, "Ah, you're more interested in my systems and my methods."
Yes.
Well, there's some things I can't share with you, trade secrets and all that, but I'm always willing to help a budding entrepreneur in the the art of archiving. Yeah, like he sort of like sits you down and goes over like his means and methods, go through his filing system. The gloves and things that he suggests, essentially they are just they are very finely crafted silk gloves with a minor like cleanliness enchantment. With your knowledge of magic, you suspect this is probably something that, given materials and time, Elizabeth would be able to replicate quite easily. A similar thing with the method of filing the records and books. Filing something like this level of archiving is probably a very expensive process to continually have things enchanted, but you get the feeling that for these houses that are have monopolies of business, that obtaining gold and spell components is not difficult.
No.
But again, it's something that, given money and time, is well within your party wizard's capabilities.
Yeah. I think we'll definitely have 2 sets of archives.
Yes.
The long-term and the short-term archive. And this would be more of a long-term kind of storage.
Yes. Well, this as he sort of gives you the go through of all of the details of the system. This underground like hall must contain records of the construction of the city from pretty much its beginnings. Like it covers everything. It is a comprehensive city archive. It is nowhere on the scale of what you would need running a singular keep. But yes, he certainly gives you a number of tips and a certain number of ideas that you can take away that you can work with.
Nice. Yeah, I think that would be that was just I guess that was just Grim spending his first day.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so while Grim is away doing that, what are the rest of you up to?
It is an excellent question.
So.
Well, I guess while you're puzzling on sort of what to do, the 2 of you and Kelariis, well, I guess the two of you are probably sat somewhere in your newly rented like lodgings. When Kelariis just sort of knocks on the door and like leans in and says, "Hey, I was going to tell Grim, but I guess I'll tell you guys because he doesn't seem to be here. I'm going to go," and she sort of like gestures like out into the city. "I'm just going to go have a wander, and I want to kind of see what the guys that we met at the shrine are up to, and whether there's anything I can help with."
All right.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for letting us know. Thumbs up.
Just sort of nods and ducks out.
Convenient way to get Kelariis out of the
Yep.
plot.
Well, to be fair, it's not like any of us are committed to doing anything together right now.
No.
Yeah. And also, it's very in character.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just funny, but I don't
cast as many spells last session as I thought I did. But yeah, sorry, I interrupted you again, Luka.
I know. Yeah, I just don't know what to do.
Okay.
Well, considering the circumstances, would she leave it till the next day, maybe?
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause,
yeah,
like-
bumming about for the entire day is a perfectly acceptable answer. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Okay.
I have just had a.
You have an idea?
It's only a minor little thing. I just want to see if. Okay, no, never mind. I was going to see if something would be of use to someone else in the party, but it's not.
Okay.
I've got 2 scrolls. Oh, although I suppose that is something Elizabeth could do. Elizabeth's got 2 scrolls of Phantom Steed, and I don't see myself using them that much. So I guess she'd probably go to one of the more magical shops, somewhere that sells scrolls, and either just sell them directly or try and exchange.
Sure. Where do you sort of want to go to sell this? Where are you thinking? Sort of.
Well, there was a lot of the magic shops around Domator's.
Yes, there was.
So probably somewhere around there.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess she just sort of browsed shops until she found one that was selling a decent quantity of scrolls, or would be interested in scrolls.
Yeah. Cool. Give me a wisdom roll.
Just flat wisdom.
Just flat wisdom. Amazing.
That one.
Wow.
Okay.
Quick, where was that guy we talked to the first time we went to buy potions? Where's
Yeah.
he?
So yeah, I'm gonna say you go out into the streets. It is chock full of people, and you start browsing through the shops, and after a little while, like of sort of like looking in the shops and going, I don't know about this one, don't know about this one. You start to feel really, really anxious. So you just go to the one shop that you know sells things.
Yep.
Wow, that's relatable.
I know. It's just me in a nutshell.
Incredibly
I'm in a new place,
relatable.
I don't know where any of the things are, but I've been to one place here before, so I'm just gonna go there.
Yeah.
Me and my partner, when we went on holiday, we were like, we don't know any of these shops nearby, but one of these happens to be a Pizza Express. We know we like Pizza Express. Let's just go there.
Okay. So yeah,
Sponsored.
you step into the store, and there's like the chime of the door draws the attention of the shopkeep, who is currently dealing with another customer, and sort of like beckons sort of politely to you and just sort of like invites you to take a seat and wait while he deals with his customer. As you take this character in again, he still has the strange sort of like almost like ram's horns that are emerging from the back of his head, and you swear they're getting longer.
Well, like longer just from when I last saw him, or they're like actively getting longer?
Longer from the last time you saw him, but more growth than should be logical in like the maybe like 4 days since you met him.
Wild.
Yeah, he finishes dealing with the it's probably a drow elf, probably in Domator colours. Finishes dealing with the drow. The drow leaves with their purchases, and then he sort of turns to you and says, so you're back. I was wondering if I'd see you again.
Yeah, just me this time.
I can tell.
So I came here looking to sell some scrolls, but I don't know anywhere else here, so either would you take them, or do you know somewhere who would that you could point me to?
Sort of like scrubs the back of one of his horns with a hand and sort of says, it depends what you're looking to deal in. Might I take a look?
Yeah. And yeah, she produces 2 scrolls of Phantom Steed.
Okay.
Which is the 3rd level spell.
Let me open something real quick.
Right. I love how this specifies a large quasi-wheel horse-like creature.
Well, it's because it's open to interpretation.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny.
Okay. That's not the right folder. Ah, there it is. Okay. So yeah, he opens up the scroll, ums and ahs over it for a few moments, and then sort of says, "So just these."
Yeah.
Oh. Well, they're not the sort of standard fare that I deal in. I'm mostly alchemy and potions, herbalism, that sort of thing. But I do dabble in magic items. I suppose the question is, what's your price range? What are you looking to get rid of these for? I mean, I don't usually pay straight cash for these things.
I see.
Is there anything you're looking for, perhaps? I mean, I'm open to an exchange of some kind.
Well, I was hoping to either get, well, coin or just different scrolls. More stuff I can put in my book, you know?
Sort of like looks down at your spellbook and sort of nods and says, "Ah, you collector, hobbyist, or?"
Well, I suppose it started out as a hobby and interest, but I guess it's sort of become a career.
Yeah, I think
when you go adventuring.
Yeah, he sort of like folds his arms and says, "Yeah, I know a couple of people who've sort of made long-term careers out of it. I suppose the more accurate question would be are you looking for like defensive magics? Are you looking for offensive magics? Are you looking for things a little more on the sly side? Forgive me, I'm trying not to assume just by looking at you."
No, of course. I suppose there are a few non-combat spells that it would be useful to have.
Do you have anything in mind? Because
yeah, I can't think of anything super specific.
the few things that I deal with tend to be more people who are looking to conceal themselves from prying eyes, sort of thing, or
I suppose something like that could be useful.
I don't know how much I've got, but give me a few minutes and I'll take a look.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, he sort of dips into the back, and you are left alone in the room for a short period. I need to look up the appropriate wizard spell list. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to filter by wizard save. Okie dokie. Okay, so he comes out a few moments, probably more like a couple of minutes actually after disappearing into the back, with 4 scrolls. He sort of like lays them out in front of him. And he sort of says, well, like I said, I don't really carry much in the way of these things, but people trade now and again for odds and ends, and I keep a few of these things around. My usual clientele tends to have an interest in such things. I'm willing to maybe trade a couple of them for one. I'm not sure about taking 2. I don't know how much use I'll have for 2 of the same kind of scroll, but we'll see. Make me an offer, and then... and yeah, he presents to you the following scrolls. Let me type them up real quick. And where's the other one gone? Okay. Yeah, so he presents 4 scrolls. 1 scroll of silent image, 1 scroll of invisibility, 1 scroll of darkness, and 1 scroll of non-detection. Yeah, and he sort of lays those out and sort of says, yeah, I suppose make me an offer and I'll see what we can do.
Okay. See, that would be really nice to have. So, you know what? I'm actually thinking. How about just a 1-for-1? And I'll take the invisibility one off you.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's a bit
Okay,
better.
that's pretty good. I think, yeah, he when you suggest that, he sort of thinks for a moment, takes the other 3 scrolls and like puts them to behind the counter and sort of thinks for a moment and says, I'll alter the deal slightly. We'll do 1-for-1, and I want to pick your brains on something.
Oh?
How much do you know about transmutation?
It's not my most common school, but I do study all types.
How much do you know about undoing it?
Well, undoing magic in general is kind of... why?
He sort of gestures to the horns growing on his head and sort of says, I may have had a little run-in with a cursed item.
Oh, I see. I have exactly the spell for that, but I'm afraid I can't cast it right now. If it is indeed a curse.
See, there's the thing I don't exactly know. That's kind of what I'm hoping to
Okay.
find out. Basically, all I know is somebody sold me a lockbox. I got the lockbox open, but in doing so, whatever it did these.
Right. Okay. Would you permit me to cast something to try and figure this out?
Sure.
And yeah, I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Remind me what Detect Magic does again?
I'll just roll it.
Okay.
This is me trying to figure out if the thing has cast a spell on him.
Yeah. So, it doesn't tell you whether or not it's a curse, but he is definitely under the effects of a transmutation spell.
Okay. Okay, so in that case, you'll just say, so if this is indeed... There's definitely magic affecting you. If this is indeed a spell, this should get rid of it. And I'll cast Dispel Magic.
Okay.
On him.
So you go ahead and cast Dispel Magic. The horns recede right up until the point that they are stubby at the tips of his temples, but they do not disappear.
And do I still sense the aura?
Yes. Which would suggest to you that perhaps, yes, it is a curse.
Yeah. In that case, yeah, she just nods and says, okay, so it does seem to be a curse.
That's what I was thinking.
I would be able to remove it, but not until tomorrow.
Oh. Thank you for the information, and I think that completes our deal. If you're willing to come back again, then I'm more than willing to reimburse you for the effort.
It's... Well, I'd happily come back if you want them gone sooner rather than later.
Whenever's convenient for you. I mean, otherwise I'm just going to go to the temple and ask them again, but I prefer sooner.
Well, I'm not terribly busy for the next few days, so it wouldn't be a bother at all for me to just come back tomorrow.
Sounds good to me. I've ruined enough good pillows as it is.
She just like chuckles a little bit at that and just says, "Do you attend services in the morning, or should I wait till after those?"
After's probably better.
Yeah. She just nods and like, "Well, as soon as services end, I'll head over."
Thanks.
And yeah.
Yeah,
one of the scrolls
he exchanges the scrolls with you, and yeah, you obtain a scroll of invisibility.
Lovely.
Ooh.
Okay.
Maybe Arya will not have to go alone to every stealth mission. Or alternatively, we can just make her even better at stealth missions.
You literally just turned me invisible.
Yeah.
Boom.
Completely invisible.
Ultimate stealth.
Admittedly, I think we could hardly tell the difference if you were invisible or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty stealthy when I...
The advantage of invisibility is invisibility will allow you to hide even if there's nothing for you to hide behind.
Yeah. You could potentially just, if there was just people guarding an archway, you could just walk straight through the archway dead casually and they might not even know you were there.
Yes.
No, I won't be able to do if you were not invisible.
It was more meant as a joke because the average stealth roll is like a 30 at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Not to brag,
but
I'm
being invisible as well is they'd have a disadvantage to try and detect you.
Yes.
And trying to roll above 30 on a disadvantaged roll is, not likely.
I tell you how good I am at stealth, but you've probably never heard of me.
Well, Yep. You don't want to be known as the best thief in town, because then you're not the best thief in town, because everyone's going to expect you.
Yep.
The best thief in town is someone that no one knows about.
Okay. So, Elizabeth, you spend your day doing some shopping. It gets to the evening. Does anybody want to do anything before turning in?
Arya has a very bad idea.
You have a very bad idea.
Oh no.
I don't think it would accomplish what I want, though, so I don't think I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Arya spends her day telling Lyra all of her bad ideas and then immediately rejecting them.
Pretty much.
But well, yeah. What'll probably happen next is Elizabeth probably obtains. Because hang on, let me double check how expensive it'd be to put this in my book.
It's only a 2nd level spell, so.
Yeah. I
Like
just want to double
50
check.
per level?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 50 per level. But I wanted to
Yeah, it's 100 gold in like 2 hours to transcribe, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not a
In that
class spell, so you
case-
don't get the reduction.
Yeah. And in that case, she'd probably end up finding Grim in the act, like, ideally before shops have completely closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
And,
he's not out for the whole day, so.
Oh, no.
And she'll basically, just say, well, okay, so I've gone out and done some trading, and I've gotten a scroll which could be pretty useful to put in my book, but I don't have enough gold on me to buy the components I'd need.
Sure. You know what? That should be fine. Like, just tell me how much you'll.
Okay, can I have 25 gold?
How about like you need 25 gold, and then let's say you keep 100 gold on you after, so
Oh.
So like 125 then?
Oh. Okay.
Well,
yeah, that works.
because you're gonna you gotta have you deserve to have some money, and I feel like it's best not to walk around with empty pockets.
Fair enough.
So yes,
Okay.
I do wanna. Oh, but I'll leave that for tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow evening.
Leave. Okay. Thanks.
You go do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, and upon attaining gold, she's gonna run off to buy the inks and whatever else she needs.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that and then spend the time transcribing.
So basically, give it 125 gold. And then...
Okay. Yeah, so while the rest of this is happening, Arya, you're still sort of like sitting around, like coming up with your terrible plans.
Yep, they are increasingly bad.
At one point, like Kelariis comes back and just sort of says, like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
It's been better.
Anything I can help with?
How do you talk with people?
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to.
No, it's just it's a little complicated to explain. I'm not very good at talking to people.
I don't know. You seem to manage it fine by me.
Well, we've been friends for a long time.
That's true, I suppose.
I just don't know how to express what I'm feeling to other people besides basically our group.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. It is a bit difficult. I find it gets easier when you get to know people, but
God, help me.
was there something you wanted to express?
Not to you. To someone else, and I don't know how to do it.
That's vague. I mean, I suppose the best advice I can give you is just be honest I guess, and just think about what it is that you want to say and how best to say it to them.
I suppose the situation is a little more complicated because I don't know if they have the same thing that they want to tell me. So, it's a little bit complicated. I imagine Arya looks incredibly uncomfortable saying this.
Kelariis just sort of like sits down next to you and just sort of says, "Maybe tell me about it."
God, not the emotional conversation.
If you can explain it to me, then maybe you can work out how it's easier to say to someone else.
Well, so it's about Jaldrum.
I see.
I told him he was my friend, which is true. But I think I didn't quite get across what I was actually trying to say. And I don't know how to say it properly, or if it's something that he also feels.
Kelariis looks a little taken aback, puzzled almost, and just says, "Okay."
So that's what I'm trying to figure out, is how best to tell him about my emotions. Fuck's sake. And I don't... Yeah, so...
The real question is the nervous laughter in character?
That's definitely in character.
Yeah. I think Kelariis just sort of, thinks for a moment and just says, "Well, I don't really know very well how to... If you're saying what I think you're saying, well, I mean, you were there the last time I had to have a conversation like that.
Yeah.
And, well, the only thing I can really say is you can't... If you can't say what you want to say, don't dance around it. Be direct, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work."
But dancing around is all I know. No. Yeah, you're probably right. It's just never had to go through this before, so don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Kelariis just sort of I guess just puts a hand on your shoulder and just sort of says, "Yeah, I wish I could give you better advice, but I don't. It's not really something I have a lot of experience in either."
Yeah. Second age. We're awkward.
I think she just pauses for a moment and just sort of says, "You don't have to answer this, but why?
Why what?
Why him?"
Good fucking question, Kelariis. Arya looks uncomfortable. Is just like, well, I don't know. It was just... I've never all my life I've been taught to hate the drow, and they've been sort of the bad guy at every single story. But I met him, and it was so completely different that it threw me off. And as we spent more time with him, I just started to feel more than friendship, I think. It's not really a good reason.
As you say this, Kelariis sort of takes her hand off your shoulder and like puts her hands together in the middle. She's just sort of like absent-mindedly like playing with her holy symbol, and just sort of says, "Yeah, I kind of know how that goes."
What?
Not in the same way. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, being told stories about certain kinds of people and then finding out that actually that's not entirely true.
Oh, okay. In that sense, I see. I guess it just threw me so off guard, and then I started listening to what he was actually saying, and it sounded a lot like things that I've thought about before.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about things. I've been thinking about things a lot since we had our conversation with Visastris, and wondering about all the ways in which I could have been wrong up to this point.
I think it's pretty easy for us to be wrong at points. I mean, if I've learned anything from this time here, it's so easy to just be raised in a certain way and never question it, and then all of a sudden realize maybe the people that were telling you the stories weren't actually right.
Yeah, I think we both got a lot to learn. Well, when I came in here, I was going to say I'm going to help some of the people from the Shrine of Trotharian. I've been speaking to them today, and they want something a little more, well, permanent. Somewhere they can gather and talk, and I think it'd be good for them to have that, and I kind of want to help them. And I was going to ask if you wanted to help, but I think maybe now you have something else to get on with.
No, please distract me.
I mean, you can come. I'm not going to stop you, but it's up to you.
How long do you think it's gonna take?
Probably be a couple of days. I mean, they have an idea of where they want to be, but, well, and I kind of sympathize with them in this. Paperwork is not their strong point. So I'm going to help them where I can. And, well, once they've got a place, they'll need furniture and things and stuff getting in place, and that I'm a bit more comfortable with. But if you decide it's not for you, then you're welcome to come and help.
Well, maybe I'll come along for a few hours.
Sure. We packed up for now, but I think we're probably going to get going tomorrow lunchtime sometime.
Alright.
She just stands up and sort of like looks down at you, like pats you on the back and says, "Chin up."
Thanks. It's hard being vulnerable, I think.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Especially because, I'm not the most endearing person.
Oh, come on. Don't say that. You have your charms.
charms extend to effectively hiding in places and killing people. And but thanks for the words of wisdom.
Just sort of chuckles. Says, well, don't stay up all night thinking about it.
Yeah, I'll try. Except I don't sleep.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Right. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry, so...
Yeah, we should probably eat.
Cool. Yeah, so the rest of you, the four of you gather in the evening for a meal.
Cool.
So yeah, before you go to bed, does anybody want to do anything else?
Well, I mean, Elizabeth might as well take the time. There's probably 4 hours to squeeze in before bed for copying a spell, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
So yeah, that she probably copies invisibility into her spell book for 4 hours before going to sleep.
Okay.
So she's probably just sat in a corner somewhere with the book on her lap, just scribbling away.
Okay. Add invisibility to your spellbook.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, the next morning, everyone sort of wakes up, and yeah, I guess the thing that wakes, well, I say probably not the thing that wakes you. The notable event that happens while you're all eating breakfast is one of the inn staff, a human man in sort of like a fairly well trimmed sort of like apron in Rastra's house colours, approaches your table where you're all eating breakfast and clears his throat politely and sort of says, "Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, but I have these for you," and presents a handful of letters.
Oh.
I guess, yeah, take the letters off him.
Okay. So
Thank you.
he bows and sort of steps away. The letters are mostly appointment slips for your the next stage of your clothes fitting.
Oh.
So you all have various dates throughout the day. But you also all have a folded letter that is sealed with a wax seal with no marker on it. That presumably you all open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elizabeth's straight in there. It's like she sees the letter, like, ooh, break.
Okay. Yeah, you break open the seal and begin to read. Yeah, there are all individually addressed letters from Jaldrum. And to sum up the majority of the letter, it basically says, to esteemed members of the Amber Eagle, I'm eternally thankful for everything you and your companions have done. As one of my last acts as Scion, I've had Rungvir process your contracts of employment, complete with a day's hazard pay and unexpected termination bonus for your efforts. You can collect the payment from him whenever best suits you. Please accept this as a token of my appreciation.
Nice.
And let me do something real quick. As you all finish reading your letters, save for Arya, whose takes a little longer.
Wonder why? No.
Oh.
Wait, Elizabeth probably finishes reading hers, then immediately just goes, well, I was about to complain that I didn't have anything to do today, but now I guess I do.
Oh, well.
Unless I feel like trading in another scroll.
Well, that's up to you.
Well, now I've got things to do while I'm thinking about whether or not I want to do that, rather than just sitting in the room and doing that.
Well, let's...
I think at this point, Kelariis sort of pipes up and sort of says, "Well, if anyone finds themselves at the loose end for stuff to do, I'm going to be helping some of the members of the Church of Tritharion here get moved into a more permanent place. Up to you all, but I could use some help. We've got some paperwork to do, and there's... Well, once we get in, there'll be stuff like moving furniture and getting things set up, so you're more than welcome to help."
Yeah, I don't see you doing paperwork, so I think...
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I'll help you out with that. Can't be too bad.
I have nice handwriting if that helps with paperwork.
Kelariis just sort of like nods and just says, "Well, yeah, right now I think they'd appreciate any help."
I mean, I'll happily help out.
Thank you.
I've got some... Well, obviously I've got stuff I'm going to do today, but I will pop over at some point. Probably sooner rather than later. It seems like the kind of thing that doesn't wait as much.
Well, don't worry. Paperwork takes more than enough time, usually.
Oh, yeah, true. I'm just thinking, like, there's a person I'm helping this morning, and then there's the close fitting at a specific time. I probably should be there for that. And then we all need to go get paid.
Yeah, at that point, Kelariis is like, "Oh, actually, can I switch with someone? Because I'm supposed to be somewhere else."
Wait, what do you mean switch?
Like, and she holds up like the appointment thing. Like, can we trade?
Oh, yeah, but like I was more. That was not so much the problem. I was more like, I was hoping you'd point us in the right direction at least.
Well,
It might. Oh well.
Oh no, I can show you where to go. I mean, and she like points to her. So like, I'm supposed to be going like at midday, and well, midday is when I promised to meet everyone else to talk about what we're doing. So
would we not have to?
Oh, okay.
Would we
Well,
not have to talk about that with them?
I mean, I guess we could go this morning and ask.
I doubt they'll be. You know, I doubt they'll make it a problem. As long as we'll just swap the invitation. Like, I'll just swap invitations, and then
Okay,
if
yeah,
it's a problem,
you trade
I'm sure
with
if you.
Kelariis.
And if it's a problem, I'm sure if you just pay them an extra gold, they'll be more than happy to comply.
Kelariis just sort of like furrows her brow and says, "That's really your solution to everything, isn't it?"
Well,
To be
we've
fair,
also got bashing skulls, but I don't think you want to go doing that now, will you?
also, to be fair, to give him a little bit of credit, honestly, I guess it's kind of surprising what throwing a bit of gold in someone's face can solve.
Literally,
Look
just
at
throw it in their face.
Well, okay, maybe not literally throw it in their face, but you know what I mean.
I mean, back where I come from, it's generally more acceptable to just ask nicely, but I guess
Well,
gold does help.
I said if I assume you ask nicely first, and if they huff and puff a little bit, then you throw gold their way.
She smiles and just says, "Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm just..."
Ow.
She's just being the voice of good. I don't want to.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh,
Well, I guess our little voice of good can join us on the little journey to do some more good for Trifarian.
Yeah, Kelariis just sort of like pushes the ball away, so like stands up, just sort of says, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna go get my stuff, and then I'm ready to go when you guys are."
I've got to quickly run down to that potion shop we went to, but once I've done that, then yeah.
Okay. Should we say meet here in 2 hours? That'll give us enough time to go get our stuff done and.
Oh, yeah, that works for me.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
Kelariis like steps away goes up to the room again.
Elizabeth just runs off. She's just straight out the door.
Okay.
Boop.
Have you managed to read that, Luka?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's why she typed a silent scream in all caps.
Oh yes, I did not see that.
We're about to go like full romantic movie trope shit up in here.
Nice.
Good.
You written your romantic love letter.
Well, not quite.
It's not a love letter.
Okay. Is he just setting up a date?
Maybe so.
I don't even know that he's setting up a date.
It's a business, you know.
We're meeting at dusk in a garden.
Oh, that is totally a date.
Admittedly, because he's a drow and standing out in the sun is probably not great for him.
Also, dusk in a garden, that sounds like betrayal speak.
Oh no.
No, that is totally a date. And honestly, it's not as bad as what me and my partner have classified as a date before.
Oh, anything can be a date.
Yeah.
Well, we once walked at dusk through a graveyard.
Hey,
I mean, that's just...
Bronte lost her virginity in a graveyard.
That's just that's a goth date. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or no, it wasn't Emily Bronte. Fuck, it was Mary Shelley. That's who I'm thinking of. Anyway.
There you go. That's your tidbit for the day, Dave. Mary Shelley lost her virginity in a graveyard.
On her mother's grave, I should add.
That's... Yeah, there's all sorts of things wrong with that.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
That is pretty goth. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, she was, there's a reason she wrote Frankenstein.
Yep. The mother of sci-fi.
Yeah, this is Sigmund Freud. I'd really like to talk to you.
Sir? You thought about this? Yeah.
Oh, God. Inventor of sci-fi, and that's what she did.
Well, it takes two, like, to...
It does take two to tango.
That's enough.
Like, it's I think it's more impressive that she found someone that agreed to it.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. I don't know if we know who it was, but that is a very interesting question.
Yep.
Yeah. Who was it?
Was it?
Oh, well.
It was Lord Byron.
No.
It's not Lord Byron.
It could have been Lord Byron, though. Actually, I don't even know if it could.
Isn't that like wrong time for it? Anyway.
Yeah, it's probably the wrong time,
enough English history.
Yeah,
it
anyway.
Seem like something Lord Byron would do, is all I'm saying.
Probably.
Yeah, so I guess we follow Elizabeth as you go out and meet up with the shop owner, who, like, that you can already begin to see that the horns are beginning to sort of grow back as he greets you.
So yeah, the second she's gonna walk up and be like, okay, so I do need to touch you for this.
Sort of like bends his head down.
That works. And yeah, I will cast Remove Curse on him. Okay.
Yep. You cast Remove Curse. And yeah, you watch as basically like there is it wasn't visible to the eye until you cast the spell, but it's almost like there is a faint shroud that is cast off him. And somewhat to your surprise, the horns just fall away and become dust.
Wow.
He sort of like leans back and says, "Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a nuisance for quite some time. I'm gonna make sure to bury that box somewhere where nobody's ever gonna find it."
That's probably a good idea. That's probably a very good idea.
And it's the last time I buy any curios from Shady Dwarves.
Gotta watch those shady dwarves.
Yeah, honestly, this is why I don't buy things from Shady anybody.
But shady people have the best stuff.
I think he just sort of like scrutinizes you for a moment and says, "Yeah, well, each to their own."
You see,
And yeah,
I do say I tried not to.
I guess he probably like slides like 3 gold across the counter and says, "Well, appreciate what you've done, and yeah, if there's anything else you want, stock's open."
Yeah, if I think of anything, I'll be sure to pop round.
Okay. You step away with your 3 gold in hand.
Nice. Elizabeth's just walking away now going, I really could make a career out of this.
Something to consider.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely is. She just provides curse insurance.
Curse
Have you been
insurance.
cursed? Have you been cursed?
Have you suffered a curse at work?
It wasn't your fault.
Oh, God.
They're called curse wizards for you.
Call the curse line at.
Call the curse line.
I was accidentally given a
1-800.
cursed sort of ladder.
It's what? Okay, but get this. It's 1-800-THE-CURE. That's the line.
No, we don't need to. Also, we don't need to get any, any like actors in for that because we have someone already. We just get Kelariis. She goes, I picked up a cursed sword that made me attack. That made me attack anyone who hit me. They're called curse removers for you. I'm very happy with the service that
I cannot imagine Kelariis doing a fucking telemercial. Can you?
No, me neither.
She would be like so cardboard. She'd be like,
Yep.
I got a But she's like our only example so far, so we have to go with her at the start. No.
Anyway.
Actually, no. We could use Grim and the horn.
Yep, that's true.
Like you might not call it a curse, but
Well, Well, the only problem is usually in order to demonstrate, you kind of still need the artifact.
Yeah.
Or well, cursed object.
true.
Which I don't feel like I'm going to be able to retrieve.
No.
Well, to be fair, at no point the injury like lawyer things don't always like. They could just have a demonstration. We could just have a reconstruction. We could just get a horn. It doesn't have to be the same horn.
It's true.
Right. Should we push this carriage back onto the rails now that we've
Yeah.
sufficiently
Yeah.
derailed?
Yes, let's do that. We just took a shortcut. It's fine.
I think you need to redefine shortcut.
More like the long way round.
Shh. Make it sound
And
good.
that's reminding me of Titanfall now. Just
Look, that was.
need to
comedy.
reevaluate your definition of shortcut, BT.
Oh, BT. I love BT so much. But yeah, I was just look. That was comedy gold.
Anyway, so I guess you all end up going to your various appointments, getting fitted. And then you can go
I
and
just realized I'm gonna be wearing new clothes too. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can wear your new fine clothes.
Oh, is that are they actually ours now? Or is that just like a?
Well, technically
That's
it's
probably
not.
just like an early.
Yeah, it's not until tomorrow that you'll have it.
Yeah.
But because they said 3 days, so it'll be tomorrow that you have it. Yeah, and I guess you can go and assist Kelariis in setting up things. I'm not going to make anybody roll anything because it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah. Also, people need to carry things. I've got Tense's floating disc.
Yeah, that will be helpful.
Put stuff on the floating disc.
They aren't necessarily ready to start moving things around at the moment, but that will be useful when it is ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you all go. So you all go help Kelariis, and then go and pay Rung a visit.
Yeah.
Yep. Okie dokie. I need to do some maths very quickly.
Math.
So you worked for him for 5 days total, correct? I think.
I believe.
Something like that.
Yes. So.
Can't believe we're getting paid by the hour. We solved this way too quickly. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all arrive at the guardhouse, and actually, I suppose probably during your day, you're beginning to hear, like, going around town, you're beginning to hear rumors and news about what unfurled while you were up to your antics. There is discussion about the auditors who've been involved in various nefarious goings on, and the House Scion who has been now been publicly disowned for his part in it being involved in all this. And you hear a number of various different tales, but all of them seem to be like at least variations on the truth. And yeah, it's with the way the rumors are spreading, you wonder if Domator has more than just a simple hand in how this information is being disseminated. But yeah, as you head back to you head back to the guard keep, also the enforcer residence. Where you sort of enter into the place. There's a number of sort of individuals in there who are engaged in conversation with Rung as they enter. Like, it's probably in Undercommon, as the occupants are probably several male drow, who are engaged in heated discussion with Rung. But the moment the four of you enter, the conversation falls a little quiet. Rung sort of like dismisses them and they leave. And yeah,
something important.
Yeah, he sort of looks up and says, "No, just state of affairs at the moment. We've got a lot of people not too happy about all of the news with Jaldrum, and a lot of them want to resign, so..."
Oh, I see.
I've tried to convince them that he doesn't work for us anymore, but they're not having it. And, well, I told them where the door is.
A fair solution.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, word from on high is that let go whoever wants to go, keep whoever wants to keep, and bankroll the whole thing and try and keep it on the down low. Well, turns out House Visimus aren't too happy about the news either, but they'd rather not everyone know about it.
I guess that this is about as good as a result as we could hope for.
Well, at the end of the day, everyone's still alive. Well, at least most people are still alive.
Yeah.
People who matter are alive.
Oh God.
Yeah, Rung kinds of a little awkward and sort of says, "Well, the loss of science is kind of a big deal, but..."
I forgot about, like, Well, I guess I kind of forgot about it.
Grim.
Grim,
Like, he was dead. He's dead before we got here, so we never knew him.
but he's still the reason that we were even doing any of that.
Oh, regardless.
Ah, and this is the guy who talks for us most of the time. Why do we
I
do
know.
that?
Regret.
Rung sort of like shakes his head a little, like grabs a bunch of coin pouches from behind the counter and says, "Well, as much as I don't agree with what he did for siding up with, well, let's call them disruptive elements, to say the least. I'm surprised that Jaldrum was involved in the same sort of thing. Although, from what I hear from the opposite side of things, I always knew he was a bit of a sympathiser, but didn't think he'd go out on a limb quite like that. But I followed his last instruction, and I got you guys paid before they could pull the plug on it."
That was. I guess that.
Very
That
nice.
is,
Yeah, he sort of slides the coin pouches across, and each coin pouch contains 45 gold.
Oh my god.
Nice.
That's one for each of you.
good. Take
I was just gonna chuckle and be like, oh, been paid twice now today.
Rung sort of nods and says, "Well, yeah, we're lucky that one of the first things Jaldrum thought to do was tie up all the loose ends."
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a nice gesture.
Well, seems like the only person who's not getting a bonus out of this whole thing is me, but I might be getting a promotion, so we'll
I
chalk that
feel
up
like-
to win some, lose some.
How about we share a little of what we got with you then? Like you risked your neck as well. You gave us the extra time with. Well, I won't. It's fine. I won't say more, but
He sort of looks at you a little puzzled and sort of says, "Yeah, I suppose I did."
it's. And regardless of what you think of the result, it was. I think it would have saved a lot of people in the long run. So I'll just hand. I guess I'll hand them 10 out of my bag.
Okay. He sort of like takes the gold, like not quite sure, and sort of says, That's kind of you. Thank you."
Well, you did put your neck on the line for us a couple times. Least we could do.
Yeah, I think Kelariis just sort of like bows her head and sort of says, "That was you did a lot for us, even though it might not have seemed it." And I think she'll match what Grim gave as well.
Yeah, Elizabeth will as well.
Well, now I'm gonna look like an asshole.
I know. We were like, I did feel I was gonna give him stuff anyway since Grim had said that, but then Grim gave him 10. I was like, oh, now I feel an asshole if I only give him 5.
Well, admittedly, I wasn't sure if everybody else was going to
Yeah,
do it. So I was like,
I think if like at the moment like Elizabeth goes to do it as well, he's just sort of holds up his hands like I can't take from all of you that. I really thank you.
Well, thank you too.
yes.
He sort of like pockets the gold coins and says, "Well, it's been nice working with you. I think you're the first
Likewise.
mercenaries who, well, for want of better phrasing, didn't turn tail the moment they saw sight of gold."
Well, I guess for us, like, I guess
all
we're
just mercenaries.
yeah. I guess mercenaries is just the title we need to do what we do best.
He seems to consider that for quite some time.
Out. But I guess we will. Well, guess we'll be around for maybe a few more days, and then guess we'll be heading off. So if you want to, well, if there's anything else, let us know.
He sort of like offers you a half salute and sort of says, "No, I think we're all clear here.
Excellent.
Raise a tankard for me."
Will do.
Yep.
And yeah, you depart.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anybody would like to do with what's left of their day?
Well, I did want to have a little bit of time with Elizabeth near the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Luka, is there anything you want to do before we have that scene?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we get to the end of the evening. You finish your evening meal, and yeah, Grim, you head to Elizabeth's room.
Yes.
Probably just playing smart, honestly.
I guess I would be polite enough to knock on the door. Elizabeth?
Yeah?
May I come in?
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. I'll close the door behind me, and
What's up?
well, I felt like it might be it might be time to have a word again, because like things went fairly smoothly this time around, and I feel like it should be acknowledged. So basically, what I'm saying is, yeah, you did good.
Elizabeth did not expect this, so she just like smiles like stupidly widely. It's just like, oh, thanks.
Yes.
I don't really know what to say.
That's fine. Like even though you can be a pain in the ass, you're one of the only people that seemingly dares, open their mouth, even when it's somewhat less convenient. And I can appreciate that to some degree.
Well, let's be honest. Everyone's friend is a pain in the ass at some point, right?
Some more often than others.
My siblings are absolutely my best friends in the world, and that never stopped them being pains in the asses.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, no. But what I was trying to say is, you've been seem a lot more. What would you call it? Well composed or like calm.
Yeah, I guess I had a bit of a. I guess the visit to my parents was kind of, enlightening, I guess. They've had their fair share of experience as adventurers.
Yeah. Yeah. That can be a good source of inspiration. Wow. But yes. Well, I guess that was basically what I came in here to tell you. Don't know if you had any other plans for the night.
Not for tonight.
We didn't have our new clothes yet, right?
No, not till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow.
Yeah, she just goes like, I might have. I mean, I might go. I might be doing something tomorrow night, maybe.
Well, I was gonna
I
suggest
get bored.
we go grab drink and
Well, yeah, I was just gonna go back to that. Admittedly, the same place that we've been to before for drinks that needed fancy clothes. But that's purely because it's the only place I know.
well, want to be adventurous, find a new place. I'll let you pick. Sure,
I
there's
mean, I'm a believer in if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah, that works for me. I will have to go get changed, but we can head out.
Oh wait, now?
Well, I guess you can finish up whatever you're doing, but I feel like it might be good to spend some time together.
Okay.
Don't worry, no weird potions, just
I
talking.
wasn't concerned about the potions until you said that. I'm more just confused.
Well, let me put it this way. Arya, it's like we know, like even though we know most things about Arya. Kelariis also doesn't have that many hidden sides left. But like you, despite the fact that like you are pretty open and tell us a lot of things, are somehow still the most unpredictable. And I kind of want to. I was like, maybe if I talked a little bit, we would yeah, get to know each other a little better.
Well, to be honest, I think if you talk to Gorgo, she'd probably tell you that I've always been unpredictable. I mean, think about it. I live in a household where everyone is a warrior or a fighter of some sort, and then there's me,
I am a
the
firm
one who
believer.
stared at books.
I'm a firm believer that even there is always some method to the madness, even if you don't realize it yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there definitely is. I mean, my quote-unquote research
Yes,
up in the capital is proof of that. I very much found method to someone's apparent madness.
exactly. Well, I don't quite want to. Maybe calling it madness is not the right word, but how about we get to learn about your madness?
I'm stowing that away as the weirdest thing someone's ever said to me.
Yeah, I'll take that honor.
But yeah, sure. Just give me a sec to like
Yeah, of course.
compose myself, I guess.
Oh, don't worry. Like I said, I'm gonna have to get changed as well.
Okay. It's just the two of you going.
Well, I imagined just taking Elizabeth with. I had like no specific thing I wanted to do once we're actually out there. Just listen to some more of Elizabeth's stories,
Drinks and small talk.
bring some small talk.
Okay.
Well,
So no
especially-
need for a carousing roll then.
Well, we could always roll to see how badly she's offended by the end of the night.
Wow. To be fair, like if you just ask her to tell stories, probably all she tells you about is a weird number of childhood stories.
Oh well, I guess I would ask. Well, because you specifically mentioned your parents and how it like put your got your head back onto your shoulders to some degree. Your
mean,
recent bit.
Yeah, if you want to tell that story, then because nobody's actually heard that story because that was in the downtime.
Oh yeah, I guess that might be interesting then.
In that case,
It's up
she
to
just
Cav.
goes,
Then I can insult you in person.
I basically I
No.
basically just told them a cut down of what we'd been up to. and asked for advice on my struggles. Because subtlety is never my strong suit, I just blundered straight in there.
Well, it's not like you've ever known me to be subtle, have you?
Well, yeah, no.
But I guess, well, if you don't mind sharing, what was it that they said? Like, it's always those little nuggets of wisdom you should try and
Well,
preserve.
It was the general thing of just learning to sort of trust your gut, I guess. I mean, they never got into the kind of things that we've got up to.
I guess.
Like I said, I told them about the adventures we'd been on, and Gorgo's killed a wyvern, but I kind of one-upped her on that one, I guess.
Yeah, that is. You can say that again.
So, to say they were a bit almost disbelieving, well, not disbelieving, they believed me, but like, to say they were shocked to hear about some of the stuff that we've done in such a short time would be an understatement.
Yeah, they're never going to allow any of their kids near us again.
Well, we've already got 2 of them.
Yep.
I know they told me that my brothers had signed up with a company somewhere, but I don't know where they are now.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll run into them at some point.
You'd like Pericles. He's a lot like you. Sort of more tactics-minded.
Well,
Kelariis just likes hitting things really hard.
That can be a strategy too.
Usually with whatever's to hand. Like my books once.
Ah, yes. Well, books do pack quite a punch, especially those tomes you're carrying around.
He always used to fall for my holding breath party trick as well. Every single time.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's one trick I still don't quite understand, but I am aware that I won't challenge you on it.
I mean, yeah, I don't understand how it works. I can just do it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess those are sometimes the best things in life. Little fun tricks.
It's like I don't really necessarily understand why exactly having a genie parent lets me just float for a little bit, you know? Or why it makes my hair blow around even when we're indoors. Like, I don't know why it happens, it just does.
Yeah.
And it's not like there's other genasi you can find and ask about it, you know?
Ah, yeah. But hey, it does explain why your head always seems to be in the clouds.
Womp womp.
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, terrible. You know what? Once the castle is done, perhaps we should take we'll invite like our families for a big banquet, a big feast. I'm guessing they would appreciate it.
I mean, I can always ask if you want to extend the invitation. I can't say for
Well,
certain how they'd react.
Well, you can. Well, I guess let's see to the castle actually being finished first.
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantees that we're actually going to finish it. I expect there will be some hiccups along the way.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of factors dictating whether or not they'd come. So let's just wait until we're actually able to invite them.
Yes. Although I will admit, for travel arrangements, I was did kind of imagine you might want to, you might be willing to give some families a VIP treatment with a little
Well, if they were willing, I'd happily
good.
VIP them around. I did
Excellent.
sort of take something from my room last I was there, so I should be able to actually teleport back there bang on target this time. And,
Excellent.
well, I'm always walking around with something from the keep, so...
You know what else might be nice?
Mm.
Well, I guess we would need to be a suitable thing, of course, but if next time we slay a dragon, we should get get you a little trophy to show your parents. Like, sure they might believe you, but like, I feel like this will give them something to hold on to.
I don't
I'm not
think I
saying-
can get them a trophy.
I might get one for my parents just so they can hang it in the inn. I'm sure they would be proud of it.
Well, your parents would definitely have more of an opportunity to show it off to people.
You know what? Next time we do something amazing, I'll be sure to. I'm gonna see if I can find something memorable or some kind of some object. Well, admittedly, with all the more undead and demons and all that, they don't leave the best stuff behind.
No. At which point Elizabeth just sort of like suddenly bursts into giggles for a bit and then she goes, actually, now I think about it, there is one member of my family who, if they could find the time, would absolutely adore a banquet.
Oh.
And you've met them.
Oh, would it be your genie?
My parent, yes.
Yeah. Well,
They've
to be fair,
always loved it when a bigger meal was served.
well,
You recall a particular instance, Elizabeth, where the meal was promptly made larger, but not necessarily in a producing more food fashion.
He's made the chicken bigger.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
she probably tells that story then.
excellent. Well, fortunately, I think if we're gonna go, if we're gonna do this, I don't think that will be necessary.
I
But
guess
I
let's
also-
not freak out the recruits by inviting a literal genie to the
Well, if we're gonna be doing something with our families, perhaps we don't need to make it as public of an event.
Well, okay, true.
Well, we'll get to the details once we get there.
But yeah, I'm sure they'd appreciate it if you were to offer.
Good.
It's just whether or not they could show up.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Okay. Two of you finish your drinks, head back to your accommodation, and I think we will take a short break there.
Okay.